The samurai in the picture locked his throat. According to the lion hunting guidebook, the theory is 100% Paris, but in the end, you would never expect that the colt comes back to life, and Changliang swaggers in front of his mother. And this is the beginning of the video. The annual Great Wildebeest migration is always fraught with dangers and hidden murderous intentions. This wildebeest was following the army across the river, when it was ambushed by a lioness on the bank, and prepared for a while. Kung Fu, numb legs have been released here. Please note that the wildebeest is moving on the ground, its belly rising and falling steadily, and it appears that it is no longer breathing. Image. Under normal circumstances, if you want to survive in this situation, you must perform cardiopulmonary resuscitation. But I'm sure that the numbness in his legs hasn't completely gone away. He even feels more intense pain and has to immediately pull his legs back to stop breathing. This is Leo's usual style. Compared to wire mesh hunting dogs, the lion is willing to strangle its prey until it stops breathing before starting to eat. Even when it feels that the prey is still breathing a little, the lion still does not relax. Strength. This is the reason why the prey has lost the ability to resist, but the lion is still determined to strangle it. Time passed. 50 let go. His mouth stopped, and the gazelle's head on the back left immediately fell to the ground. Intuition. Apparently, the lion sensed from the outside that the wildebeest was no longer breathing. At this time, the lioness was not in a hurry to praise him with this wildebeest. Looking around, it seemed that she was not at ease. Perhaps there are too many two-legged and four-wheeled vehicles ahead, making me feel insecure. He stood up and left the horse he had just taken, and within 3 seconds after the lioness walked away, the wildebeest's belly suddenly appeared and it was breathing fresh air, as if it just returned from the gates of death. It's unbelievable that this guy is alive again. Not only that, Wang's reincarnation in Hainan province may make him feel different. On one side, the lioness looked at the scene before her eyes but was indifferent. The wildebeest turned his head and glanced at the figure not far away. He also felt unbelievable. Shimei, are you coming? If you don't come, I have to leave. Maybe it was because the lioness' belly wasn't big yet, or maybe they felt that this wildebeest had some magical wings, so the priest didn't initiate a second approach, but just looked at the swaggering horse lead like this. The second person is my close friend. Do you know that the group of vultures behind the little tiger wolf just finished killing this antelope? Now let's look down. A war correspondent who often wandered around the steppe was the first to discover that the source of nutrients could not exist. Just as he was about to enjoy a nutritious meal, more and more space gathered. Practice behind him. 10 pairs of eyes stared at Zhao from there, behind. In addition to feeling the chill on the little jackal's back, the feeling of the soft antelope also made him feel extremely uneasy. The little jackal could not bear the enormous pressure from behind, and finally gave up the delicious food he had. When Kogoro fell silent, the vultures that had been watching him gathered. Quack! The gazelle was now drowned in a sea of vultures. The scene was chaotic for a while. Despite their small size, vultures are very voracious and come in very large numbers. But vultures value food very much. They never look at living animals. As long as the prey is still breathing, they will not move. In other words, there was once a drunkard at a funeral. His greatest glory was that he woke up and found a flock of vultures, waiting for her to die. She bluntly said that 3 minutes had passed since the detective had to wait. Back in Beijing, let's see how the vultures are doing. So that we can see more clearly, this two-legged and considerate horse is still very large. Originally only a part of the antelope weighing nearly 200 kilograms remained. This performance surprised my brother. Even with the support of evil capitalists, he is worthy of being a famous food waste collector on the steppe. They can clean up any food in their hands clean. As time passes and the camera moves forward again, we can vaguely see a red head and pink face save gradually approaching this aura. This style is so good that the Vulture King's scene suddenly became quiet. Everyone gave way to a path. The Vulture King was not polite at all, walked straight to the antelope's door with an abandoned atmosphere. The antelope began kissing her goodbye vigorously. In such a setting, it is not easy to think that the herd of gazelles not far away is so organized and disciplined. With his waist curved up, he confidently walks into his damn big head and enchanting body that always radiates a bright light. This made the eyes of the two-legged beasts hundreds of meters away brighten up. They couldn't imagine how much trouble this arrogant guy was in. These rich and powerful people, Peng really did not expect to escape from lions. Bosley, who escaped from tigers, did not escape from these most cunning two-legged beasts. It was just a harmless person. Love. In the beautiful dark forest, they killed all the useful equipment, but the bulls did not need two-legged beasts, so they thoughtfully gave Peng Peng a peanut to take away. This peanut, without much enthusiasm, this sudden carrying away made Peng Peng feel both proud and excited. His plump buttocks immediately rose, the small 6G antenna behind then starting the 66-cylinder turbocharger and firing up the horsepower. Peng Peng returned to his warm harbor in a matter of seconds, just like his beloved. But this is of no use. The cunning two-legged beast had 800 ways to find him. A large hole opened on his forehead, his head was crushed by violent external forces, the monster on the left side of his brain instantly exploded. He wanted to destroy him, completely destroy him. There is no breath. Apparently, a lot of the generation's equipment masters have died. The warmest harbor in front of her door has now become a cold and lifeless thing. She hesitated to the point of being mercilessly attacked by a two-legged beast, pulled out the door. They high-fived each other to celebrate. Forester Peng Peng's life was thrown to the ground, looking very desolate. Even when he died, he was not at his home, so he could not see it. Peng Peng is really not small. If the bipedal beast didn't have a spray bottle in its hand, it probably wouldn't be a match for hesitation. But reality is cruel. In the end, the two-legged monster dominates everything. Peng Peng's end could only be harmlessly dealt with by the bipedal monster. Finally, the two-legged beast thoughtfully arranged Peng Peng's makeup, saved the last bit, and took a group of family photos with Peng Peng with a smile on his face. Don't tell me that this family is really handsome.